Hi, and welcome to the third lesson on VOR holes. In this video, we're going to look at another way, and that is the en route chart or the paper method. And you'll see exactly what I mean. Let's get right into the example. This is also known as the paper method because you can draw this on a piece of paper on the exam by using a compass rose, and then you're able to figure out the hold entry. The first step you need to do is to draw the racetrack directly on the compass rose on the inbound radial. So in this case, I've drawn the standard turns, which is right-hand turns, on the 090 degree radial inbound. So what you want to do is to then push the line towards the racetrack. So this line right here that I'm flashing in green, you want to push that towards the racetrack, like so. You can see how I've tilted the line 20 degrees towards the racetrack. So now it's pretty easy to identify the quadrants. If you're coming in from the right-hand side, we can use the direct entry. If you're coming in from the bottom left-hand side, in this case, we can use the offset entry. And remember, the offset always takes up the least amount of space in the quadrant. And then from the northwest side, it's going to be a parallel entry. Now, all you have to do is to figure out the heading of the aircraft where you're coming in from, and then you can determine what type of entry to use. So for example, if you're going to come in from the northwest corner, it's going to be a parallel entry. So let's look at another example. Let's assume we're now on the 090 degree radial, but this time it's a non-standard hold. And if you remember, non-standard holds are left-hand turn racetrack patterns. So the first step is to draw the compass rose with the racetrack in the correct orientation. So I draw a left-hand racetrack. And the next is to take this line, this flashing line, and move it 20 degrees towards the actual racetrack. In this case, I'm going to tilt it down this way. And now we have our quadrants again. So you can see, depending on which direction you're coming from, we can either have a direct entry, we can have an offset entry, or a parallel entry. So now let's look at a third example with the hold superimposed on the actual low en route chart. So in this example, we were told by ATC to hold inbound on the 266 degree radial to the Timmins VOR. So what I did was I drew the racetrack on the 266 degree radial, and next what I did was I drew the compass rose. So I just extended that track out, and now we're going to move the line towards the racetrack, so like so. And because of that, it's much easier to see now what the different quadrants are again. So if we're coming in from the left side, it's going to be a direct entry. The northeast side, it's going to be offset. But in this case, we're actually on the Tango 745 airway, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, and that will make us fly a parallel entry. This is very useful, especially on a written exam where you could be coming in from a direction that maybe is on another radial and you want to know what type of hold entry to use. Just superimpose a compass rose on there, throw in your racetrack pattern in the right orientation, and then move that perpendicular line 20 degrees towards the actual racetrack itself. And now it makes things a lot easier. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson.